Millions of Egyptians hit the streets in carnival-like demonstrations on the 25th of January 2011 that have inspired the world and peacefully ousted former President Hosni Mubarak. Egyptians were fulfilling the dreams of freedom, prosperity and a better life. But 3 years later, and the world was shocked to see the same scenes repeating itself against democratically elected President Mohamed Morsi. This raised questions over what went wrong after the celebrations and euphoria of 2011.
The reality is that chaos has ensued with a host of mistakes from the political and military forces during the transitional period. Parliamentary elections before the constitution was the first mistake, and the rest was built on it. Worst of all were the division within the community between Islamists and liberals. Ideology divisions are dangerous.
These ideological divisions were instigated during campaigning for all elections since 2011. It widened the gap between both sides, which was translated into continuous demonstrations and violence over the last 2 years, even after Mohamed Morsi was elected as president.
The president's main challenge was to unite the country, but he was not able to achieve this. He made mistakes such as his constitutional decree and appointment of a new prosecutor general. He admitted this yesterday, but the opposition were also wrong in refusing to open dialogue with him and preferring to escalate tensions.
There was a security vacuum after the revolution, and it was deepened with the rise of crime and violence. The Muslim Brotherhood accused the opposition of inciting violence and chaos in the country to weaken the democratic process. Meanwhile, the economy was quickly deteriorating with increasing unemployment, national debt and budget deficit. The economic burden became so heavy on the citizen that many began to doubt that the revolution was the correct route in the first place.
In spite of the sufferings and confusion felt by the people since the revolution, there is still belief amongst many that the revolution itself is not to blame. The uprisings had its positive attributes.
Freedom of expression and free elections were the major gains out of 2011.
There's no more brutal police force. Political parties have total freedom to operate, and Egyptians can willingly elect their president without fear or fraud. However, all political forces used it for personal gains only. Egyptians misused their acquired freedom, and now the military has intervened. A sign of failure by politicians.
Now Egyptians are back in the streets saying they will correct the mistakes of the last few years and retain the original principles of the revolution: food, freedom and social justice. Yasser Hakim for CCTV, Cairo.